to bless our community. And I pray, Lord, that our hearts would be guided by your love and your grace, and we'd extend kindness to each other and to remember those that are the least among us that have desperate needs. And we ask for your continued safety and blessing upon each life and family represented. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we're going to go to Texas flag. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Okay, now we're going to
Mayor,
go
may I make a statement?
straight to...
Oh, wait, Mayor, may I make a statement?
I don't think your mic's on.
Okay. Well, Mr. Edwards was not able to be at the council meeting today, so my presence here today is simply to facilitate the council meeting. I am not acting in the capacity of city manager or interim city manager today. It's just to facilitate the council meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, now we're going to go straight into 8D, which is consideration of approving interim city manager to consider into, oh my God. Okay, consider of an appointment interim city manager Mary Juarez for an appointment to the Coastal Bend Council of Governments Board of Directors.
No.
But,
B, not D.
oh, she told me.
B.
Okay, now we're going to go to consideration of approving an employment contract between Carlos Valdez as the interim city attorney effective October 21st.
I move to approve, oh man, I freaking lost you. I move to approve an employment contract with Carlos Valdez as interim city attorney effective October 21st.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now,
But all opposed, Mr. Mayor.
oh, how about all opposed?
Aye.
Discussion.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to announcements, which is city manager's announcements.
Okay,
So do we need to swear him in?
Yes.
Yes.
He needs, we need to swear Mr. Carlos Valdez in as city attorney, as interim city attorney.
Okay.
Candace will do that.
Want to do it here or there?
Oh my, where to start?
I, Carlos Valdez, do solemnly swear
I, Carlos Valdez, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of interim city attorney
of interim city attorney
of the city of Aransas Pass,
of the city of Aransas Pass,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United
the
States
Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state
and of this state,
and the charter and ordinances of this city.
and the charter and ordinances of the city,
And I furthermore solemnly swear
and I furthermore solemnly swear
that I have not directly nor indirectly paid,
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered, or promised to pay,
offered, or promised to pay,
contributed nor promised to contribute
contributed, nor promised to contribute
any money or valuable thing,
any money or valuable thing,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
as a reward for the giving or withholding
as a reward for the giving or withholding
of a vote
of a vote
to secure my appointment, so help me God.
to secure my appointment, so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to take my seat over here.
Yes.
Okay, now we
we're
can
gonna
go to announcements. Yes, okay, we have,
The first one,
yes, sir. We have there's two items under city manager announcements. The first one is the trunk or treat event that is scheduled for October 31st at Harbor Point Park, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. As of this morning, we had a total of about 25 vehicles that had registered for that event, but we anticipate that number to grow by the day of the event. The next item is a workshop meeting on October 28th. We've got 4 items so far scheduled for that workshop meeting. The first one is an affordable housing plan. The second one involves a proposed RV park outside of the city limits. The third one is an administrative waiver for people following the comprehensive plan. And the last one is the painting of the Panther logo and the water storage tank. But those are all those are all of the items that we have so far for the workshop meeting.
Thank you, Mary. Now we're going to go to citizens' communication.
What happened to city council member announcements?
What's that?
What happened to city council member announcements? Number C. First page,
Let's
man.
see.
See, city council
Yeah, it doesn't have
announcements.
nothing underneath it.
I got something I'd like to say.
Not on the agenda, but.
City council member announcements. I have something I'd
Yes, sir,
like
but
to say.
there's nothing underneath it, like.
It doesn't have to be Mayor.
A,
That's
B, or
the
C.
general rule.
Announcement connected to headphones from Kathleen. Is that okay?
Go ahead, Rodney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to talk to this committee, or this bunch of citizens out here concerning the way that the city attorney was, and I'm gonna put it in my words, run off from this city because of misnomers and misfacts and lies that were told. Councilman Joe Dominguez was not at that meeting to be able to assist or to say anything about the city attorney. They told him that the deal was done. It wasn't done. There was one more day after that meeting where we could have kept the city attorney had we had the votes there. But outgoing city manager Gary Edwards told everybody that there was 3 votes to fire the city attorney or he could resign. He decided to send in his letter of resignation in lieu of being fired. His resignation was held. We told him not to do it. We weren't going to accept it. We had the meeting for it. We had the votes not to accept his resignation. But Councilman Dominguez was told that it was a done deal. It was over. This whole deal stemmed from the Charter Review Committee where Mr. I'm not going to say his last name because I'll get it wrong, but Thomas G. stood up there at that podium and made the comment that people don't trust government. People don't trust local government. Is there anybody in here that can tell me they trust government? After what you've seen in this council, do you trust your government right now? You're one of the few.
No.
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 That is probably the most of the people that do not trust government. And why should they trust us? They ran a $16 million bond underneath y'all, would not let y'all vote for it because they didn't think you were smart enough to. So they didn't let you vote for it. I'm gonna bet you everyone in here, if you would have had the option to vote for that bond to restore the police department and rebuild another fire department, I want to bet you every one of you would have voted yes for it. It would have, had it been on the ballot.
Been on the ballot, yep.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Very small portion.
That's all that had to be done, was put on the ballot and to tell people that you trust them because you want their trust. And because of that, we know, I wasn't here then, but I don't feel like you trust us now anyway because of things like that. And things like were done to that city attorney. He spoke the truth and he hurt 2 people's feelings. Oh my gosh. I've been in public service all my life. I know what it's like to work for the people. Mr. Valdez, I have nothing against you. I know you're a good attorney. I know you're going to be a judge, but the way that you were brought in here was not right. They should not have fired or run off our city attorney who was trying to help this council, was trying to help this city, was trying to do something for this city that the former attorney got us sued every time we turned around. And they allowed it because they kept that city attorney. till it finally got unbearable and they had to do something about it. Mr. Thomas was teaching us how to run these councils correctly, how to get that charter changed and renewed and brought up to speed, because it hadn't been done in 4 years, and it wasn't done very good then. So everybody can think what they want. But the real reason is because the man was good for this city, but he wasn't good for a couple people.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why myself.
The $1 in and out. I could get it.
You done? Before you get it?
Joe, would you like to say anything?
Come on, Joe.
Well, just on the, excuse me, just on the October 8th, Randy, you called, and your question to me was, did I visit with Mr. Edwards? The answer was no.
Did you tell Mr. Edwards that you'd vote to fire Thomas?
I didn't even talk to Mr. Edwards that whole week.
Mr. Edwards told me he had 3 votes. 2 times he told me he had 3 votes. One time he changed it to, I have 2 votes now, and one came in later. Then he changed it to, I had 1 vote, and I talked to the mayor, and then we had the votes. The lies caught up with Mr. Edwards. And I was not allowed to tell the truth in the executive session. I was called a liar. Numerous times by a couple of people that continually called me a liar. I don't lie. I'll tell you how it is. You may not like it, but I don't care. I'm not going to lie to you. Would you have voted to terminate Thomas?
I was not going to accept it.
You were not going to accept his resignation? There you have it, folks. In a nutshell. We all got mad at Joe because he didn't show up at the meeting. I believe what he was told, it wasn't necessary for him to be at the meeting. Right?
Correct.
By who?
So, by the 8th, let's see, October 8th, about 8:59, one question I have that's lingering is, if we were in executive session October 7th, how did that email leak out?
Well, I don't know about that email. I didn't do that. But I can tell you that the 8 days didn't expire till the next day of us accepting the termination of Thomas.
So, Randy, when I talked to you on the 8th, the answer I got from Mr. Edwards was, had I been here, it wouldn't have made a difference. He was already gone.
That's not true. The date of his resignation letter was, and Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong.
May I interrupt? I don't know what item this is on the agenda, but I don't see it on the agenda.
It's under comments.
Comments are one thing, discussion is another.
Okay,
This
but
is
I'm
not a
doing
comment.
comments right now for these people to understand what
It's not on the
happened
agenda.
and why
Yes.
our attorney was
It's
run
called
off.
city council comments.
Comments is one thing, discussion is another. What you're having is a discussion on items that are not
In
on
other
the
words, you
agenda.
don't want these people to know what
It's
happened.
against the Open Meetings
It
Act.
violates the Open Meetings Act.
It's not, it's legal.
You got a lot of attorneys in here, you don't need me.
You're liars.
You got a room full of attorneys, you don't need another one. So, you know what? I'm gonna back out of this, this is not necessary. I'm submitting my resignation effective immediately. You got enough lawyers in the room.
Good.
You don't,
Good.
and you see,
Good.
you see? So, thank you all very much for
You do
considering.
what you
Thank you
wanna do,
thank you for the
Carlos.
vote, I appreciate it.
You
I
were
wanted
thrown
to come
into
here
this not
and-
knowing what was
and-
gonna happen.
And usually, when somebody's speaking on the floor, there's no interruption, but it's impossible here. I appreciate your consideration, I really do. I wanted to come here and help you, I really want to help you. But I can see it's gonna be impossible. I can see there's several sides involved, at least 2 major sides involved. I'm not here to take sides with anybody. I'm here to try to guide you, give you some advice, tell you when I think you're doing something wrong to get you back on track. But I can tell that you have more than enough legal assistance over here. You don't need my help, so thank you all very much. And with that, I'll take my leave.
Well, we
Thank you.
do need your help, and I'm sorry that this is happening.
Oh, I am too, but Y'all don't need my help.
We need
Well,
your help.
we need your help.
We need your
But-
help or we
but-
can't have a meeting.
Well, you have more than enough people.
I see that.
Thank you all very much.
Well,
We're going to cancel the meeting. We can't have a meeting without an attorney.
Way to go, city attorney.
There was one other point. When somebody submits a resignation, you don't have to accept it. It's automatically effective after 8 days. And actually, you cannot refuse to accept the resignation. By law, you can't vote this, we're not going to take it. You can't refuse. You can accept it. If you accept it before the 8 days, it's effective when you accept it. If you don't accept it, after 8 days, it's automatic. You cannot refuse. You cannot vote to refuse. That's the law. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir.
well,
Ma'am,
how many more
Friends.
are we going to lose?
we can't have a meeting without an attorney. We can't have a meeting.
Should not run off the
Can't hold a
attorney.
meeting.
You can have a meeting, you
the
just
fact
can't
of the
go into
matter is-
executive session.
Sure.
Let me
No,
say
let
something
me
real quick.
speak.
I need to interrupt. People, unless you ever sit on a city council, you don't know what goes on. We can sit out here and Bart can do what they're doing, but until you have a seat on that city council and you're controlled by the government and by Austin, Texas, you don't know what goes on. But yet, some of y'all can sit out here and complain about this, complain about that. Get your ass up and go run for office.
What
I'm telling you,
are you here for? We
Mayor,
will.
I
I'm here to
Mayor.
listen to what goes on, brother.
Mayor.
Sit down and listen.
Mayor.
I'm listening.
Well, okay, now, we're gonna, hey, no. Okay, time out. Time out. Now, first of all, I have to say something, because in true reality, he was not fired, okay? He had the opportunity to sit down in executive session so we can have a conversation. But he's the one that chose to resign. Nobody asked him to resign. Even if he would have gone into that meeting at the end and we would tell him, hey man, you have two options, either resign or you get fired. There's nowhere in there that says that we fired him. He resigned on his own, no matter what he says. But reality is, reality is,
know
he
that.
resigned. He resigned.
No, you
Bottom
don't
line.
know that.
No, he
No,
resigned.
you don't know
Plain
that.
and simple. Now, it's like he said.
He was threatened.
No, he was not threatened. No, he was not threatened. He was not.
Mayor,
Let's end the
council.
conversation. No, right now, but that is a true story.
Okay, but that item is not on the
Yes.
agenda for discussion, so I think we need to get back on the agenda, and the
Well,
next item is citizen
okay, can we
comments.
continue without a city attorney?
Yes, we cannot go, well,
We can't do the
But we
e-session.
won't be able to do an executive session because we have no city attorney.
Okay. Well, let's go to, okay, now let's go to citizens communication. And it's Mr. Will Gardner first.
I gave all of you the correct way to do the Roberts Rule of voting procedure, since y'all like to skip the discussion part. I know at least two of you already know, because you had the guts to come out the front door after each council meeting and talk to the public. The ones I gave the mayor to, pick them up. Pick them up, guys. That's what I thought. If you don't, it's because you already know this. It's the persons looking back at you whose actions are to blame for the city losing trust in the local government. Not Councilmember Haskin, not Councilmember Knight, not Farwell, not Mr. Glatz, I probably messed that up, or even me. Gomez, along with the one sitting on each side of you, always assume that you are the smartest person in the room, and if someone tells you something different, then what you believe, they're wrong, even when they give you evidence to back it up. So with that said, Scruggs, as Gomez once said, anybody can look anything up on Google. I gave you the Supreme Court ruling Link versus Freed, that ruled public servants can be held liable for blocking people on their personal accounts if they use that account to comment on public matters. You also realize by blocking people, if you speak to something on the City of AP page where you are definitely speaking on behalf of the government, that they can't see it there. So it was suggested on Facebook that you have roughly 100 people blocked. I suggest you unblock them, as I'm not sure, but that could possibly open up another lawsuit. Notice I did not call you council member or Gomez mayor, because those titles are won, but you have to earn the right to keep them. And both of you have lost the right to be addressed by those titles because you have acted like babies because someone hurt your precious little feelings. Instead of acting for the citizens of the city, you did what you want. Mrs. Scruggs, I do want to thank you for bringing me back to God, because I was mad at him for a long time. But thanks to you, I realized it wasn't him I was mad at. It was people like you who quote scripture to frame righteousness while engaging in duplicitous behavior, insisting on conformity, and labeling dissenters as troublemakers that I was mad at. I stole that quote from Susan McCoy on Facebook because I couldn't say any better. Thank you.
Stephanie Diaz.
Stephanie Diaz, city employee, but more importantly, female resident of Aransas Pass. I'm using this opportunity to share some information with the citizens, city council, and you, Mayor. I wish to make everyone aware of the particularly nasty actions and character of one of our own local elected officials. This person has been going around behind people's backs and behind closed doors to spread baseless, insidious lies. These lies are the product of a despicable and cowardly misogynist. The person who is doing this has an agenda, and like many small-minded and intellectually stunted individuals, it is apparent to me that he imagines and spews out these nasty thoughts based on his own personal failings, misdeeds, and fantasies. I say this because he does this with absolutely no proof or evidence to support the rumors he promotes. There can be no proof because what he suggests isn't true. His cowardly accusations are completely without merit. Otherwise, he would gladly produce something to support this nonsense and share openly and transparently. But he cannot. He would probably even like to deny what I have stated, but again, he cannot. Unlike this elected official, I do have proof of what I am stating. I would like to share a snippet of this evidence during my time tonight in the form of a recording. In closing, I wish to state that my purpose in sharing this is to expose the disgusting and bullying nature of this person and show that I have nothing to hide and refuse to be bullied. I believe that to remain quiet does an unforgivable disservice to the hardworking people of this department and the community in general, and especially to the hardworking women of this department who work so diligently and professionally to serve the community, support our families, and advance our careers in what is still a male-dominated profession. Everyone should be aware that instead of using his position to promote, build, and advance this community and support the hardworking staff, he wastes time making up and sharing lies in order to advance his own small-minded personal agenda. In doing so, he brings disgrace upon himself, his position, this council, and the community.
Okay, if you're gonna play a tape or something, you play the whole
Randy,
thing.
you're not supposed to respond.
You did the same thing.
No, I did not. No, I did not. No. We're gonna go to the next one.
No. No, Councilman Haskins, I was not indeed fucking the chief. I have, through blood, sweat, and tears, earned every bit of the promotion that I got, despite whatever misgivings you may have. Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna go to the next one. We're gonna go to the next one, which is 666 Jason Followell.
No, I'm sorry. I was laughing at that. That's awesome that she called herself out like that. It's pretty cool. How is she, Chief Blanchard? Good? Is that the one that you picked up in the car earlier today? Was that Stephanie? I got that recorded too. That's interesting, Randy. I actually have your back on that one, so thank you, sir. Okay, guys, so now that you can play recording devices, because you used to not be able to, I will be bringing recording devices from you, and you. I have some on you, too, so I'm going to play them every time I come to these meetings, because you're not supposed to be allowed to do that, and that's why I haven't publicly showed video. But now I will, and we'll do it every time I come here with everything that these people do wrong. It's awesome. I got all kinds of shit on you, boy. It's going to be great. Thank you for letting them do that, Ram. I appreciate you being a dumbass. All right. I find it interesting that Gary Edwards lied to the public about retiring, and Kerry and Ram both got on Facebook and said, oh, he's retiring because of his family, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Guess who called me? Nevada. Nevada Council called me. Wanted to know everything about him, just like Victoria Cops called me about him, and he didn't get the job. Guess who's not getting the job now? Gary Edwards. Why? Because I gave him a whole terabyte of data on him. Good job, Ram. Good job, Kerry, lying to the public. We appreciate it. Oh, by the way, you guys pretty much crippled me, but I came back. I got a thick back, kept working. Guess what? I sold my house. Guess who's moving to the middle of town? Jason Followell. Kerry, keep my seat warm. I'll see you next May. I'm sure this town is ready for some real auditing, some real justice, because all you pieces of shit steal from us, lie to us, and treat us like garbage. And y'all still let this man be here, which is mind-blowing. Joe, I'm going to give you credit today. Thank you for finally doing something right. We appreciate it. You haven't did nothing right the whole time. You just sat there like a coward, and today you actually showed us some grit. We appreciate it, sir. I'll be running next year, I do believe. I think Andy's going to be running next year, I do believe. And I heard the same thing about Stephanie Diaz, that you actually modified the job scope in order to give her the job, and there's some really good officers that you passed up. I know Tony Davila left because of you, and that's really sad because he was a really good officer. Anyway, I know most of y'all don't care because y'all don't even live here. Like Ram, you live in an apartment, what, 3307 with that little girl? The little girl that you say has a grandbaby from you? That's weird. That's like Jerry Springer shit, bro. That's right off of Harbor Bridge, right to the right? Yeah, it is. I got it recorded too. You know what? I'll come up here and play that next time too, Ram. Fuckers.
I'm sorry, but he's wrong. Okay, now we're going to go to Andy Davila.
How y'all doing? I can't top off what he said, but I can come up here with my own mindset on what he said, some of the stuff that he said. And Joe, I really got to hand it to you, man. I've known you forever, and you got a business, you got a family, and you got kids, and you're letting these people right here bring you down. And one of these days, you're not going to be on this council, and they're going to put you under the bus, or they're just going to throw you to the dogs, bro. What you did today showed a lot of guts, man, compared to so many things that you've done for them that's been wrong. And I was going to come up here today and say a lot more to you in a more disrespectful way. But after today, well, I'll say it, you know, but after today, it's hard to. But I just want you to realize, because I see you in church all the time, man. And then for you to sit there knowing that this thief right here, all he's done for Aransas is steal. Him and his brother came from a town that I heard they practically got kicked out of, and they come over here and they settle here and they get away with everything here, everything they've done. That's what I've been told from people from Gregory, so you can laugh, bro. I mean, I've been doing my little investigations myself. And this is the God-honest truth, what I'm saying. And so you need to watch out with people like this, because at the end of the day, they're going to go their way, and they're going to throw you under the bus. And that's true, I am running. And if it's that seat that I'm going to take, I'm not going to sit in that seat because I'm going to have it burned. Because I would never sit in something that you've been in for the crook that you've been off all these years. I don't see how a man like you could come into this town and love Aransas Pass like maybe some of us locals. And you're no different, Kerry. I've known you since 7th grade. And there's some things I can say about you that I'm just going to leave in the closet there, when you were a young lady, it wasn't good. But I'm just going to leave it there. But you've grown into your pettiness and your corruptness like you are now. You can ask your own kids. They don't even like you. But anyway, just to top off what he said, we will be here to take over next year, and we're gonna get the respect from the citizens of Aransas Pass, because we're gonna do the right thing, and we're not gonna steal, and we're not gonna be thieves. We're not gonna take money from the budget. We're not gonna do anything against the city. or its members or anything. Anything that's corrupt from day one's going to stop. Thank you.
Good job, guys. I got here at 6 to set it up. I have just a 3-minute comment, but I didn't get 2 seconds.
Yeah, but we're gonna go to Elise Chacon first.
Can I move this?
Yes.
Okay, this is for Helen.
Wow, I don't even know where to start with this circus. This is pretty embarrassing. I think y'all should all be embarrassed. We've lost 2 attorneys in the last week, and it's not because of today. He didn't resign today over this meeting and Randy speaking out. He quit today because he saw the shit show that y'all are running. He saw that you ran a good attorney out and somebody who was here that was trying to straighten this city out. You can shake your head, Carrie, but he was pushed out because of you. You ran to Gary because your feelings were hurt, and y'all set this whole thing up, and you set Joe up in the same time.
That's your narrative, but that's not true.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. Joe, I've always thought of you as a man of integrity. I've worked with you from P&Z. I've worked with you on a professional level. I have referred your business, which I think is one of the highest honors you can give. And I'm happy to hear today that it wasn't you and you just basically telling the city to screw off last week. But I hope that you really see what they're doing to you. And you told me a long time ago when, or several months back when we were at the city cleanup, that you weren't going to be part of a clique. There's only one clique in this city, and they have dragged you in it, and if you're not in it, they are using you. And I hope you see it. Because you are a better man than this, and you're a better man that they're making you out to be. And they're using you. And they used you last week, and we lost an attorney that was trying to get this city out of lawsuits, and not to beat them. The last 2 attorneys we had, lawsuits, and y'all kept them. And you don't follow the charter. You don't even know the charter. Carrie, you know that. We had this discussion this week, and then you're still sending Randy frickin' Roxanne's emails that say the state law. We have a charter. Read our charter. It'll tell you what you need to know. Everyone, you can go on Facebook. Everyone told you about the nepotism years ago. And you still want to quote Roxanne. That's really all I have to say. But quit embarrassing this town. This is a joke. Tonight's a joke.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Lou Ann Martin.
Oh, wow. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate the support that we've gotten through the Rialto and Stephen Lou's food truck. That has not changed. I want to take 1 second. Followell?
Yes, ma'am.
You have very good points. I beg you to change the way you speak.
I won't until they fix their charter.
I think you'd be a lot more effective.
You're supposed to talk to us.
Anyhow,
not to the audience,
you're right.
so
Let's get back to you guys.
Over here.
Absolutely. The truth has been said. The citizens do not trust city council. And unfortunately, there's 2 council groups. There's 2 or 3 on one, 2 on the other. That are not working together, which is very unfortunate, and actually it saddens me to no level, to where y'all cannot imagine. Joe, I did make a comment on Facebook. You shot the finger at Aransas Pass the citizens. That's the way it was interpreted by us. I never thought for a moment you did it on purpose, that was your intention, and I still said, yes, I still give him the benefit of the doubt. It's the stuff that you're being set up to do because you believe what you're being told, but yet you're not being told the truth, as the citizens are not being told the truth, and that's the way we view it. Does that make sense? Thomas was a wonderful attorney. He tried his best to help this city. This city said, we don't want you. Thank you. My question is, why? We have a gentleman over here, Herb Lancaster. He has asked for years to be on committees. He runs a super multi-million-dollar business in Aransas Pass and has for how many years, Herb? 10 years. But yet, our council will not appoint him to a committee. Why?
Not true either.
He told me last night he's been begging to get on committees, and yet he's never been appointed. Why? He's too intelligent. He knows the game. He knows the system. He's got the connections. To not use him, of all people, is a travesty in my mind. Carrie, I'm so sorry I did not return your phone call. I have not stopped working. When I have a moment, I will call you, that I promise you, and we can speak further. At this moment, again, what you all are doing, it saddens me. That's it.
Okay. Now it's Herb Lancaster.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for City Council. I think there's certain things happening in our community while we backstab and have our infighting that are bigger than the concerns that the citizen may have here. While we are busy backstabbing, we don't really know what's going on around us. I would like City Council to, or the City of Aransas Pass, to provide the citizens of Aransas Pass a summary of what's going on at Rockport terminals. The city went into private session, or executive session, and approved water to Kasuma, a Japanese company that I was told was not going to be supported, who makes sodium hypochlorite, which is a precursor to PVC pipe, which is part of polyvinyl chloride, and also the tall stacks of limestone out there, and water from the imminent desalination facilities. I'm having to do my own research. I'm connecting dots. I may not be connecting the right dots, but we're so dysfunctional and we're so against each other that we have these other things coming into our communities which may impact us much, much worse. I had lunch with the Aransas County judge last week. I'm amazed how little interaction is between city and county, or county and city, to kind of talk long-term about the spaces between Aransas Pass and Rockport. It may occur, but it's mainly lip service. While we're all out here acting like fools, screaming at each other and backstabbing, there's some serious things getting ready to go down, which are not going to help that harbor. They're not going to help the quality of life. We're going to lose the bedroom community appeal of the city, and we're going to be a refined product center, just like the Azoron in Portland Gregory. And I don't want that here, and I think y'all are asleep at the wheel. Sorry. Thank you. And about your committee statement, I have been available, but I have not been reached out to. I was appointed chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, but I had to summarily quit after 2 years because I'd moved my address from 260 Goodnight to the ETJ right on the edge of town. So I did the right thing, guys, but thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go to staff and reports and discussion items, which is...
Hold on a minute, Mayor. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I filled out to speak, and nobody's called my name yet. I put my name on that piece of paper.
Let's find it.
Hang on. You don't have to sign up at all, sir. Signing up is illegal. Okay, then I got 3 minutes I need to say something. That's correct, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, sir.
Mayor, the problem is you got a list to sign up who was here, and then you have the other one to fill out who wants to talk. It's confusing.
And there was only one over there, so I got 3 minutes if you don't mind, please.
You'll have to ask his name. I don't know. It's just a sign issue. Just ask him.
Go ahead, come on up.
Y'all know me, everybody here knows me. My name's Richard Titus.
Okay, but next time, if there's not a form there, can you please ask for one? And then we have a time limit to be able to sign that.
I know there's a time limit, okay?
So
I agree with you, Jason.
That's fine.
I know.
That's fine.
I agree with you, and I agree with you. Like I said the last time, the image of this town is based on every one of you up here. And there's only a few people up here that give a damn about the town. I have complained about that Buck's Tire place across the street, which is a serious fire hazard. I couldn't do that on my property because you guys would do something to me about it. When are you going to do something about that, which is right across the street from everything here? My next door neighbor I've been complaining about for 3 years. It's a dump. Nobody lives there. The city shut the gas and the water off because they can't live there. When are you going to do something about that? We've asked about an abatement warrant so that I could help try to take that down. I know you're back there shaking your head, Tito. You know what? When are y'all going to do something? Y'all need to do something about this town. The image of this town relies on you guys. None of us, No wonder none of us out here trust you, because every time we come up here and complain about something, not a damn thing gets done, except for a few people on here that I won't say names. That's the problem with this town. This town, there's people that run this town that don't know how to run a town, and those people need to go away, and this town needs to be run correctly, like a town should be ran. And I could ramble on for days, but I get too pissed off about it.
Okay, well.
Hey, Mayor?
Now that it's done, Tito, can you come over here and respond to what he said about, the tire shop, Bucky's Tire Shop? Yeah, let them know exactly what's going on there.
Their comments now?
Correct that statement.
Okay, well, first of all, my name's Tito. I'm a code enforcement officer. Bucks. Bucks is getting handled. Buck's not the owner of the property. Another guy is the owner. So therefore, I'm dealing with the property owners. That's what we deal with. And he's getting it resolved. Now, what he's doing, what the owner's doing with Buck, I have no idea. The only thing I know that is getting resolved, and Buck is cleaning it up little by little. So I'm the type of guy that's going to give people more than one chance. I'm not just going to go over there and just write them a notice and then 10 days go back at him. He's perfectly fine. It's one person doing it, so I'm going to give him some time for him to clean up his property. So his property is getting cleaned up little by little, and that's all we can ask for, as long as he's coming into compliance. So he's good, but it'll get cleaned up. So sorry the way, whatever that got there. Yes, sir.
Since he brought you up here, isn't it true that because we don't have the manpower or the equipment, that we can't even keep our own grass cut, much less be filing charges on people that don't keep their
Okay,
grass
that's
cut?
totally different.
Yeah, it's totally different though, but that would be up to David for me
It
to
would
answer.
still be the same difference. We're not gonna file on them for what we can't do ourselves.
I do address the city though. The people that are in charge of the mowing department, I do address them, yes. Most definitely. They will get in trouble just like anybody else. Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys do, but because of the manpower, we're having issues with that.
Yes, sir. But they're getting resolved though.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to the fourth quarter investment report for fiscal year 2023 and 2024 from October to December.
And both of those reports, both the fourth quarter investment report and the monthly department reports are provided in written format. They're not
All
going
right,
to be
thank you.
presented.
Now we're gonna go to the consent agenda, which is no discussion is anticipated on any item in this section because they are routine businesses were included in the budget adoption process or have been previously discussed as a staff report or discussion item. These items will be considered collectively by a single vote unless a council member requests as an item to be removed from the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of October 17th and the special meeting minutes of October 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to the first action item, which is consideration of approving the contract renewal for Geographical Information System, GIS mapping with Gulf Coast Geographic Services LLC from October 1st, 2024 through September 30, 2025 for a total amount of $18,360.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is, like I said, just a renewal of our contract. The Geographical Coastal Services, they usually right now do our maps, and they're also in charge of doing our new map that will be on our website soon as get all the information put in. And that'll be our interactive map where everybody can see where our water, wastewater, and fire hydrants are located. So they would be in charge of handling all that for us.
Okay, any questions for the council?
That's, what else is on the maps? Just, are there streets, like street locations on these maps also?
Yes, and zoning.
Well, me personally, I was born in Aransas Pass, and this is no joke. I was on my golf cart on the east end of town, and I stopped in the middle of an intersection because I didn't know where I was. There were no street markers on all four poles. And I think before we, here we go, put the cart before the horse again, I think we ought to get street markers addressed before we jump in on anything with maps, because if we don't have the money for street markers, we could probably use that 18,000 to buy new signs to put on all the poles around town, because this isn't something new, but I mean, there are road marker signs missing all over town.
I do apologize. I do not have any jurisdiction over the signs in the city.
Oh, I know you don't, but I'm just saying that's what I think we could put this money towards, get that addressed, and then come back to this later. That's just my opinion on this.
Also, keep in mind that this interactive map facilitates the easement of developers and people wanting to develop in town, because they'll be able to see exactly what we have available, water, wastewater, and where zoning is available, and how they can match that up to get that development. Instead of them having to either call or drive up into my department and talk with me, they'll have access to all that information at their fingertips.
So is this map, when is this going to be, so let me back up. When did we come in contract with them? How long?
This was here prior to me coming in.
Okay, so we've had them under contract for quite some time.
Yes, ma'am.
And when will the map that you're talking about be completed?
I want to say at the beginning of next month.
Beginning of next month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's already in their contract that they've done?
Yes.
Okay. So once we get that map online,
They maintain it. So any changes on zoning, they go in and they change it. Any changing on adding new water, wastewater lines, they go in and change it. They maintain it.
so is that not something after we have it done, that's not something the city can maintain themselves?
Not at the moment. We don't have a GIS person on staff.
How long have we been paying them money?
I'm not too sure. I just know the contract was already there before I came in 6 months ago. I don't know how many years prior to that they have been on contract with us.
Okay, so if we've had them on for 2 years, how much have we been paying them? This is $18,000 a month.
No, it was a little less because the maintaining of the map wasn't on there.
No, it's a year.
Mhm.
Per year?
Per year. Mhm.
So we have to pay this every year?
Yes, sir.
When does this debt go off?
What do you mean by debt?
You said this is for geomapping the town and everything. I know what that is.
Mhm.
But how long does it take to do that, and why does it have to keep being done if we're not expanding?
And it's not that we're expanding the city limits, we're expanding the items in the map, like the water, the wastewater, the zoning. So every time someone comes in to rezone a property, the map changes and needs to be updated. Every time a developer or the city adds a water, wastewater line, we need to add that in the map so that the citizens and everyone else can make sure that they're looking at current information.
So if just one comes in or two comes in, then we're gonna pay $18,000 again for the next year just for them to put 2 houses in?
No.
I mean, just,
Well, that's the contract for the whole year. It doesn't matter how many people come in or don't, or how many changes it has. It's already included in that count, in that contract.
and they'll keep it up till,
The next fiscal year, which would be September 28th.
September 25?
Yes, sir.
Is this a service that the surrounding cities have? Do you know if Portland?
I know he works for other cities as well. I don't know if
Portland.
it's any of the local ones.
Let me ask a question. Sandra, do you recall, we used to have a GIS service. Wasn't that offered by EDC, the Sampat EDC?
Yes, but they don't have the
They
person
don't
there.
have it anymore.
The
So
person
we don't
that
have
is
that
at the
service
EDC
anymore.
is
So
no
this
longer
is the
there.
service that we're gonna be
Correct. This is,
using.
and we pay them monthly. So what they do is they submit us a bill monthly. I don't know if was this budgeted at this rate? So this is already passed in the budget. This is already included in the budget that we passed in September, because we've been doing business with them for, I would say, maybe 2 years now.
Yes.
Because Sampat EDC, there was a gentleman there that used to do the GIS for us, but he is no longer at the EDC, so we have to find somebody else to be able to do that work for us.
This is the second year for this contract. GIS services, geotechnical information. What they did the first year is they did the official city map and then other GIS services. That was what they did the first year. And I understand now it's for the mapping service, which we used to have through EDC, through Sampat, but we no longer have, that person available to the city. So it appears that we're going to be using this company for that service.
Correct.
Did we pay Sampat that kind of money?
I am very sorry, I'm not prepared to answer that question at the moment. I would need to go back and look at the records. If I'm going to say, probably not at that level, but that person was not somebody that was dedicatedly just working on our items. And the turnaround, from what I remember, was not as quick as somebody contracting that's just working on our stuff. Yes, sir.
Okay, any more questions? Favor of the council?
I make a motion to approve the contract renewal for geographical information systems mapping with Gulf Coast Geographical Services in the amount of $18,360.
I'll go ahead and second it because it's already budgeted.
That's why I did it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to consideration of approving interim city manager Mario Juarez for an appointment to the San Patricio EDC Board of Directors.
Yes, these next two items are to fill two vacancies vacated by the departure of Mr. Edwards. The first one is to the San Pat EDC Board of Directors, and the other one is to the COG. And this would just be on the interim basis.
I make a motion to approve interim city manager Mary Juarez to the San Patricio EDC Board of Directors and to the Coastal Bend Council of Government Board of Directors.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're going to go to consideration of approving interim city manager Mary Juarez for an appointment to the Council
just
Bend
did
Council
that. Yeah, we
of
did that
Governments
We
Board of
just did,
Directors.
we did that all together.
Oh, that's all together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already did it.
Okay, well, we're done.
Yeah.
There will be no executive session since we don't have an attorney.
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?